For cheap D2R items, visit aoeah.com. You get 3% off with the code Arreat. Check the link in the description. Hello and welcome everybody. In this video, I'll show you my top 3 favorite characters in D2R. All of them exist since the preseason and have a long history. After terror zones were introduced, I've leveled each of them to 99, and it was an incredible amount of work to gather all the gear. At this point, huge thanks to my community and the LX clan. Many ladder-only players have dropped me their stuff after every season. Without you guys, I definitely wouldn't be where I am today. Since my greatest passion in Diablo 2 is PvP, this video is about 3 PvP characters, of course. So let's take a look at what I've built up over the last 4 years. Let's start with my flagship, the Barbarian. This was the very first class I ever played in Diablo 2, and it remained one of my favorites ever since. Back in LOD, I already had a top tier BVB barb with treasures like a 08 Arreat and a powerful cruel Colossus blade of quickness. From day one it was clear that my D2R barb would one day play BVB as well, but it was a long road to get there. Before season 1 I had my first all-star barb build, which was great for leveling and farming. At some point, gear and level were good enough for normal high-level dueling, so he stayed at level 95 for quite a while, equipped either as BVA or BVC. This year my Barbarian was finally ready to join the AOW BVB League. Some nice deals on tradery and some fair trades within the community helped me to make that possible. So let's check it out. My main weapon is an ERAP Fool's Colossus Sword with 299% ED and some extra min and max damage. I got it for a ridiculously cheap price on tradery. I've been a fan of these huge swords since LOD, and the Colossus Sword even has a slightly higher average damage than a Berserker axe. The red armor has a bit low defense, but it requires very little strength, giving me some more extra life. The helmet gives me lots of life too, thanks to plus 5 BO and plus 43 life. The rest of the setup consists of unique items. In his stash, the barb also has a great sideboard. My backup weapon is a Colossus blade. It has a bit less damage, but also needs 15% less IAS. That makes the barb flexible for other gear. I also have a Grief Berserker axe and a Grief Zweihander for other BVB formats, and a Grandfather as a collector's item. Maybe I'll host a Grandfather only tournament someday. The small dagger is for my cons barb setup, of course not for whirling. For weapons without the Fool's mod I have to use the Angelic set, and I've also got a nice stat ring gifted by Eric. Putting it on, I can wear armors that require more strength but also add more defense, like this 3080 Sacred Armor or this Steel Carapace. I further have Tooth Row, Enigma and Fortitude. For the head slot I have an ethereal Arreat, a non-ethereal one, and a green barb Visio helm with 2 open sockets. So I can even play a fully green barb. There's more gear in the shared stash, like Templar Smite, another Steel Carapace, and my self-found Arcane's Veiler. Also there's a self-made BOTD, and differently socketed storm shields I use across all the characters. This barb had a great run in the current AOW season. After the first 10 games, I had a 90% win rate. The winning streak was finally broken by my apprentice C2. It was a bit mean, but he really did it well, so respect. The student became a master. I'm still ranked number 1 for now, but my RNG run seems to have ended, so things remain exciting. Next up, my Paladin. He's got quite a history too. He started out as my Uber Smiter, but when that glorious patch came and made many new builds possible, I rebuilt him to a Templar Vindicator, a mix of FOH plus Smite and Zeal. With this build, the Paladin became an absolute all-arounder. He could still do Ubers, but also farming and leveling at very high efficiency. He was my very first character to reach level 99 in the terror zones, mostly solo in P8 split games. Later I respect him for PvP, where the TV build can be very effective as well. When I entered the melee scene this year, I finally turned him into a Zealot. Because of all those various formats, I've collected quite a bit of gear yet, so I can build matching setups for any purpose. Right here you can see a setup that visually looks great, with an ethereal Arcane's Veiler and a white Shaco. I'm using a low Fool's Berserker Axe, but I could also pick EDC, which is still one of the most powerful Zealot weapons. For anyone getting into GM Zealot PvP, an EDC is an excellent choice. It's so cheap for its performance, and even can outmatch many more expensive low Fool's weapons. I also have 2 budget Mollets that work pretty well in my setups, one with 30 IAS for my non-tap Fortitude setup, and one with no IAS but a low rune for FPAD. Of course, having both on the same Mollet would be ideal. There's also a Cruel Mace in my sideboard. I mostly use it against Amazons. I tried it in FPAD as well, but my Mollet setup proved to be stronger. For the Mollet setups, I need 20 IAS gloves with high defense, extra stats, and ideally crushing blow from the blood recipe. Rare E-Rap gloves on the other hand can reach over 300 defense. I also have various helmets. This Arreat I crafted by myself, and this one I traded for setups that don't need IAS in the helm. The Circlet is for my Mollet setups, as they need Fanaticism level 27 for the fastest IAS breakpoint. Since max damage already was rolled on the Tiara, I socketed IAS max jewels to avoid the ED max bug. Because the Mollet setups have a high minimum damage, the extra max damage actually fits well. I also still have items for Phoenix and tap builds, but those still need optimization. Finally, my Amazon. This character also dates back to pre-season, but only recently reached level 99. She was planned as a PvP Amazon just from the start, and she reached level 96 very quickly. She stayed there for a long time, taking a break from monster hunting, but doing lots of PvP action instead. In the end, I wanted her to have level 99 too. After all, she was my main PvP char back in LOD. My Bowie still uses many of the items from those days, like a 3-socketed Tiara of Speed or a 4-socketed armor with life. I even got a Scarab Husk, which was my favorite armor type in the past, and also socketed just as it would have been legged in the old European PvP League. Back then, the bows also have been blue. Players used GMBs with up to 300% ED, 63 max damage, and 2 open sockets for IAS ED jewels. Nowadays I got a strong rare bow with a bit more damage, though the ultimate version would have base IAS and a second socket. In the swap hand I use a strong throwing spear and a 4-socketed monarch with reduced requirements. Next to CTA, I cube Ethereal Titans. The rest of the gear is pretty much like in the old days, except for the fact that people used to wear a ring with stats and lots of life leech. In my stash, I also have plenty of sideboard gear. A COA with IAS ED jewels works fine for some team duel matchups, adding hit recovery, resistances and damage reduction, though it needs lots of strength. For my teleport setup I use a 3-socketed tiara with 20 FCR instead of running speed, and sometimes even a Harlequin crest works. I also have a +2 Amazon Visio circlet with 2 jewels, but this one is for my melee setup. For that purpose the Amazon owns 2 ethereal Balrog spears, one with full smut and one with over 400% ED. I was really lucky with that one. I got it cheap, but then realized it only had stack size 1. A throw barb can refill spears of course, but it's not guaranteed to succeed on only one try. The throwing mastery gives the barb a chance not to consume the spear when throwing it, and on critical hits the stack refills. But my barb was lucky and managed to fully repair the spears. In most formats, my bowie uses Fortitude, which I also built in a Scarab husk. The tele setup uses Enigma in a wire fleece. I also have various bows. There is a rare bow with slightly less damage but more IAS, and 3 different faith bows: GMB, Diamond Bow and Matriarchal Bow. I also once had Ward and Shadow bows, but I stored them on a mule due to missing space. The GMB has the highest max damage, the Diamond Bow is a bit faster and has higher minimum damage, and the Matriarchal Bow is the fastest overall, needing the least IAS for max speed. Each has its use, I don't wanna miss any of them. So finally we made it through all my 3 favorite characters. I hope you have enjoyed. I say goodbye, take care and may the loot be with you.
Follow me. Come on. Thank you. Goodbye.